Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, you guys, to day 3 of Momentum Week. My name is Adam Olson. I am your host today. And once again, you guessed it, I am so pumped to be here. I'm so excited for what you're about to hear, for what we're all about to take part in. We have got a wonderful show. Just to recap what has happened so far. Momentum Week started out with a bang. We heard from Kelly and Steve Fife. Steve is the CEO of LifeVantage. We did that on Monday. And then just yesterday, we heard from Julie Boyster about LifeVantage products. She is the Chief Marketing Officer of LifeVantage. And today, we get to hear from the Chief Sales Officer at LifeVantage, Kristen Cunningham. And guys, this is a treat. This is a treat. And we are so privileged and honored to have these amazing guests come and join our little discussion here and introduce the amazing opportunity that lies ahead. We're so thankful for their time. We're so grateful that they could join us. And what an impact they have already made. Steve, Julie, now Kristen. This is so cool. This is so cool. And so, guys, I just want to know, as we're getting started here, as people are rolling in and joining our call, I want to know, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? What's going through your head right now? What sort of excitement are you dealing with? Are you trying to manage? I want to know. Throw me some words in the chat and let me call you out. Let me read some amazing, some feelings and some thoughts. So, all right, people are starting to roll in. People are joining us from all over the world. And I want to know how you are feeling. So, Anne Katrine Nyland Larson says, excited. Vanessa Cox said, excited. Can't wait. Me too, Vanessa. Lavette says, apprehensive. That's totally understandable. We are entering a new chapter, and change is always exciting and a little crazy sometimes. Let's see. GM. Okay, Sheila Lambert says, GM, love, good morning, Love Biome family and our Mad Team family. I'm feeling so excited. Woot! Woot! I love that. I'm trying to give that woot enough energy, that the kind of energy that it deserves. Thank you, Sheila. Althea, super excited. Janet, happy. Ivy, excited to be part of history. Ecstatic, waiting with great anticipation. On top of the world. It's just, you guys get it. You guys are getting it. I love it. So happy to be at the right place at the right time with the right companies. Althea, I couldn't have said it better myself. So love it. Thank you guys for sharing your excitement. I'm just seeing all of these things roll in. Love it. You guys are the best. Well, I just want to say once again, welcome to everyone who is tuning in from all over the world. People from Taiwan to Japan to the United States, both coasts, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Africa, Middle East, wherever you are, however you are tuning in, we want to welcome you and say thank you for joining us on day 3 of Momentum Week. And I got to say, Momentum Week has already been a smash success, and it's only going to get better. Okay. So once again, our special guest today is Kristen Cunningham. She is the Chief Sales Officer of LifeVantage, and she has got a heck of a presentation to give us today, all about the LifeVantage compensation structure and how we can take advantage of this amazing opportunity. So if you know someone who needs to be on this call, if you know someone who is interested in building an amazing opportunity, an income opportunity, then make sure they're here. Make sure they are joined, locked in, and ready to go. We want all of you and all of your teams on this call. All right. Well, with that, My hosting duties are over for the moment. It's now time for me to welcome to the call a man whom you know and love. He is the president of LoveBiome and one of its founders. You know it, you love it. His name is Sean Whitney. Sean, please take over and set us up for this amazing day.
All right. Thank you, Adam, and welcome everybody. We're so glad you're here. Today is the day. Today's the day where the rubber hits the road. It's time to really learn about the comp plan, the LifeVantage comp plan that we'll be moving to starting November 1st. But during these next 2 months, what you need to do is you need to listen to Kristen today, and she will tell you about the comp plan, but not just the comp plan, but the different behaviors that you need to be focusing on the next 2 months in order to hit the ground running and maximize the plan. They have so many great features in this plan that so many people have been asking us for. So I think this is like a match made in heaven. It's amazing. And so listen up to this. I am so honored to introduce Kristen. She is just an amazing person. I've had through this last couple months process, I've had the chance to work with her very closely, and she is brilliant, smart. I guess smart is brilliant, but hey, brilliant, kind, really experienced, and she has such a great mind for sales incentives, sales perks, for comp plans. She was intimately involved with the design of this comp plan, so she knows it backwards and forwards. And she is the architect of what you're going to see tomorrow, which is the LifeVantage perks and travels and incentives. And you're going to hear it right here from the person that created almost all of this. So, such an honor to have her. Just a quick background. Kristen has been in the industry over 20 years. She's been with big companies like Nu Skin. She's been with Shackley. And I think I'm missing one, Kristen, but she has enormous experience and is just somebody that can really help you to prepare to maximize their plan. So I am going to turn it over to the amazing, the talented Mrs. Kristen Cunningham.
John, thank you so much. That was maybe one of the best introductions I've had. I'm hoping this call was recorded because I'm probably going to play that for my kids later today. Um, Let me just tell you, I have one that just started junior high, and there is nothing that is better for your confidence than being told by a seventh grader that you're no longer cool anymore. So, yeah.
Well, you're cool
But
to us, Kristen. So,
I'm taking it. But it is so good to be here with you. I have absolutely loved working with Sean over the past couple of months, getting to know him and the Love Biome team a little bit. And I'm excited to get to know all of you. I had a chance to meet a few of your leaders a few weeks ago, and what always impresses me the most when I meet with a leader is like, what is the first thing that they talk about? And the first thing that they talked about when I met Kelly and Sean, the first thing they talked about was the field. When I met with Valencia and Tamia and McCasey, the first thing they started talking about was their team. And to me, the sign of a great leader is somebody who is always thinking about somebody else. And I got that vibe immediately from them. But I'm excited today to talk to you about my favorite part of LifeVantage, and that is the compensation plan. I've been in this industry about 20 years, like Sean said, and I've had experience on really extreme ends of the spectrum. I was with a company that was so opportunity focused. As a member of the sales team, I remember I encouraged somebody like, maybe you should help, maybe you should look for a product user or customer, and I got in trouble for it. And then I was at another company where we almost hid from the fact that we were at a network marketing company. And what I realized was that you have to have both. You learned from Julie yesterday the importance of our products and how P84 is connecting in. If you don't have a great product, you don't have a business. On the other side of it, if you're not paying consultants to share those products, you also don't have a business. I was joking with someone the other day, and you will find I like to joke a lot. But I said, at all the companies I've been at, something has been in common. I've always had somebody that says, hey, I would share these products even if you didn't pay me for them. And I can tell you in 20 years, and I'm guessing Sean would agree with this, I have never had somebody send back a commission check. Like that, that side of the business is just as important. So I would challenge you that if you are someone, once in a while I hear like, oh, I don't, it's intimidating. I don't want to learn this, or I'll just work and see how I get paid and it will work out. I'm going to challenge you to spend some time to understand kind of the behaviors of this plan and how it can help you to really expand the business. For us, we've spent a lot of time trying to make sure that every aspect of the plan is something that you can focus on in your business, that you can directly know when I do this, I get that. So with that, I'm going to bring up, and I will tell you, I sent these slides over to Sean earlier this morning, so happy to share them after. But excited to walk through our compensation plan. One of the things that I want you all to think of this is I want you to think of it as a product. And so for that reason, we gave it a name. So this is the Evolve Compensation Plan. So you're going to hear us talk about Evolve all the time. And at a high level, the reason we named it Evolve was because it was a direct reminder that as the world evolves, the industry and we have to ride along with it. Meaning that how people get paid, how people speak to customers or consultants, it is always changing. And if we're not willing to evolve with kind of how the world and how it's going, then we're in a little bit of trouble. So the term evolve is one that you will hear us talk about a lot. As a company, we've gone through a big evolution, and I feel like that is the reason that has set us up for this strong partnership today. Okay, so let's go through it. I'm going to spend about 30 minutes kind of talking through the plan, but I will also, there's resources that you can use if you want to go in more detail, if you want to see how other people explain it. We have lots of things to help you. Okay, this is our income disclosure. I would be a bad partner if I did not mention this for my legal team, but just as we all know, everyone's results vary as we go through this as well. Okay, I'm going to start with our mission statement because this was really what became the foundation for our plan project. And it's a compensation plan designed to reward product sales, customer retention, building a team, and advancing to leadership rank. Evolve enables consultants to earn successfully at any point in the plan. That was so important to us because I talked about kind of the evolution of what's happened in the world. We've seen a number of different consultants join our business. And whether you are somebody that is entirely passionate about building teams or sharing product or a combination of both, we wanted to make sure that you knew that you had a home here, that you could earn an income here. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the behaviors of the plan. So first, selling products. If you don't have a product, and thankfully LoveBiome has an incredible one, but if you don't have a product that you can sell where you have actual people consuming the product, you don't have a business. So first and foremost, a good compensation plan has to reward you for selling products. I'm going to go through those bonuses a little bit later, but from a behavior base, you got to be able to sell products. The next one is recruiting consultants. Now, I will say one of the more powerful things I feel like that I have learned just as I've studied the industry and compensation plans is really simple. And it's math, and math isn't always my favorite subject, but I will tell you this kind of math I can understand. And that math is customers will add to your business, but consultants will multiply your business. So at the core, if you're looking at how do I grow my business in a meaningful way, I want you just to remember, well, I can add to it or I can multiply. Customers add, consultants multiply. This recruiting consultants is so important. And I will tell you at LifeVantage, one of the number one metrics that we focus on for all of our KPIs is how many enrollers. How many enrollers do we have? That's not enrollments. That's actual people enrolling other consultants. And what we have found that if you look at what do the growing businesses have in common, they are increasing the number of enrollers that they have every single month. So again, recruiting consultants, highly, highly important. Customers add, consultants multiply. I like the multiply math a little bit better. Okay, retention. So retention is key. As you're bringing people in, you want to make sure that they're not going out just as fast as they're coming in, right? You want to make sure that you're retaining them. How do you retain them? Well, from a customer standpoint, you retain them because they love the product, right? From a consultant standpoint, though, for me, retention is that commission check. When you have a consultant earning earning a check, the likelihood of them staying with you is much higher. So retention, both on the customer side, but importantly on the consultant side as well. And then building team managers. So the team manager, this is what I would call, I think every comp plan has them, just that first leadership level in the team. You know, you've been able to come in to bring in some volume, to balance a little bit of an organization. But to me, this team manager rank is really that first leadership rank. This is where I find that most people make a decision in their business. It's, do I keep going kind of part-time? Do I want to invest any more? But the most important decision they make is, do I want to go ahead and become a leader? This rank is, I'm talking about our perks program tomorrow, which is our recognition. I will tell you, this is the rank where we actually bring everybody to Utah, and we do a training. We show them the building in Lehigh. We do it twice a year. Actually, we have one this weekend. But this is our Growth Summit event. This is where you get to kind of that team manager rank that is incredibly, incredibly important. And our goal is that you leave that event with a bigger vision, with the ability to focus on something even more than just managing a team. And that's advancing in leadership ranks. That's becoming a leader of leader. That's where you unlock additional bonuses in the plan. You get incredible rewards and perks that we're going to talk about tomorrow. But this is really, to me, just the backbone of a plan. You have to have strong leadership. If you have a lot of people selling product, that's great. Enrolling consultants, that's great. If you don't have a business that is backed by strong leadership, it will be very, very difficult to scale. And when I met, Valencia, Tamia, and McCasey, I instantly knew that this was a company that understood this concept. And at a time in the industry where I think people are forgetting the importance of leadership, this one is very important to us. Okay, so that is the behavior-based approach. The other question I get asked a lot, and maybe you've been asked this as well, why are comp plans complicated? Why can't it be just simple? Now, I love this slide for this reason, because I want you to imagine that somebody on your 6th level places an order, right? Odds are you might not know that person as a leader. They're somebody that is down in your organization. But I want you to think about that one order that's placed. Always start at the bottom and think, who does that order need to pay? For every person that order needs to pay, there's a different behavior attached to it. So maybe Sean was the person that enrolled that person who placed that order. We got to pay Sean for enrollment. Maybe Joy was the person that recruited their consultant. We got to pay Joy because she had an impact on that. But maybe Adam was the team manager. How did Adam help and impact that order? Or maybe Disraeli is the leader, and we got to say, well, how do we pay him for it? Because leadership was impacting that order too. So there are a lot of behaviors that go into every order, and our goal is to make sure that we pay all of them, because we know that somebody up that tree had an impact on that order. So you ready to jump in? Hopefully that's a yes. Okay, so this is just what we call our consultant path. And a couple of things I want to point out here is that you see kind of 3 distinct portions of the plan, right? This was very intentional. The reason we broke the plan up this way is, number one, as you are explaining the plan, if you are brand new, you don't need to know everything. So the idea was, if I'm early in the plan, I just need to kind of know those bonuses that I qualify for. If I'm in that mid-level, here's what I need to know. And if I'm in the back half of the plan, here's the other things I need to know. So this was meant to say every part of the plan, not only is it focused on a different behavior, but also make it more simple. If you have somebody that comes in and is like, I just joined today, but I want to know how a presidential consultant earns in their fifth month, like, come on. You don't need to know that right now. Let's focus on the right thing. So how do we simplify this in a way that you have confidence that we're going to reward you for all the right behaviors, but that you can digest it enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming to you. So the first section is our share section. Here is where you're sharing the products and the business with a lot of people. New consultants, new customers. This is where you are actively just sharing. Now, when you go to the build and grow section, of course, you're going to continue sharing, but you're adding this concept of starting to build a little bit more of a team, of growing a base, of creating more subscriptions in the organization. And then finally, our leadership ranks, which start at executive. This is where you get to participate in pools. We consider you a leader. We consider you like one of our major partners. So the leadership side of the business, incredibly important as well. All right. So I want to just kind of start with some key terms. And I don't know if you guys are following along. I should have dropped the link in the chat. I'm sorry about that, but you'll see just a number of definitions kind of in our plan. I want to start with sales volume. So this is a chart that you'll also see. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here, and this is just understanding key definitions. So you see the ranks that are across the top, right? One of the things that was important to us is making sure that we had enough ranks that you never felt stuck at a rank. Have any of you ever had experience where you are at one rank and the jump to the next rank just seems like way too big? Like, wow, I've got to more than double my business to rank advance. And suddenly, like psychologically for a leader, it's like, well, I make enough money now. If I have to grow my business that much, is it really worth it? We were really intentional with the requirements at every rank because we didn't want to create jumps that felt so overwhelming that felt like a leader got stuck. So across the top, you'll see the ranks again, kind of divided by color. We have our consultant 1 through 3 in a group, our senior consultants that are in that next group, managing consultants, and executive consultants. But the idea here is create enough ranks that people never feel like they get stuck and are too far away to rank advance, that it just feels overwhelming. Okay, so then below the ranks, you see what do I have to do to hit those ranks? So the first one is a sales volume requirement. Now, sales volume is your personal purchases plus the purchases of your personally enrolled customers. Now, I will say, I know we have a global audience here. I'm presenting the U.S. plan. There are some nuances in our Asia markets as well. We can make sure you have all those details. But in the United States, the sales volume requirement maxes out at 300. So what does that mean? It means in order to hit that rank to earn a commission check, you have to have 300 in sales volume requirement. You can count customers and your own personal purchase. So if I enroll Sean as a customer and he purchases 150 in product and then Adam purchases 150 in product, between Sean and Adam, I have met my requirement. Now, the next line that I have on this chart is one that says personal purchase cap. The personal purchase cap is your own order. And what this means is you can order as much product as you want, but you can only count 150 of that towards your sales volume requirement. Now, the question is, how do we explain that? How does that work? This was a big regulatory guideline for us. And one of the big things is, especially in the United States, was not making a purchase required to earn a check. So a lot of our leaders will say, you can earn a check without making a purchase. You get to count your customer volume. If you choose to make a purchase, you can count up to 150 of your own purchase. Now, I will tell you, grateful for the FTC and how they're keeping us out of trouble. I think product consumption is really important. It never makes sense to me that you could have a big business but not be just an avid product users of the product that you're selling. Our consultants, they purchase and use the product. Even though they don't have to, they still absolutely do. But the idea here is you can count your customers' purchases as well as yours up to 150 to get paid. So that is kind of the first definition that we'll go over. The next one is group sales volume. I love this, and you're going to hear me say I'm kind of the person that is always talking about my favorite thing is dot dot dot. You'll find I have a lot of favorite things, but this is one of the things that I absolutely love about the plan, and this is the group sales volume. Your group sales volume in your organization goes infinitely deep. So I could enroll Adam, who enrolls Sean, who enrolls 1,000 of his best friends. I've loved listening to Kelly, and I have found that Kelly has a lot of best friends. So maybe I should use Kelly in that example. Kelly enrolling 1,000 of his best friends. He's counting all of that volume. We're not, you don't stop at a certain level. You get to count all the volume in your organization towards that group sales volume. So you'll see here, like at consultant one, the group sales volume is 150. Clear up to presidential that it's 1 million. You count everybody in your organization, all your best friends, all their customers, everybody counts at that. There is not a cutoff where you don't count that. This is a big differentiator for us. In a lot of plans, either you can only count people at a certain rank or a certain level of volume. But the big one here is that you get to count everything in your entire organization towards this group sales volume. Now, if you know comp plans, you know that you have to build both wide and deep, and every plan is going to have something that helps you really focus on that. For us, it is our maximum volume rule. So this maximum volume rule right here, this is going to tell you how much you can count of your biggest leg or your biggest source of volume in your organization. Now, we look at sources of volume in really two ways. You have consultants that you enroll. So if I enroll Sean and he's got 10,000 in volume, one source of volume that I have is Sean. If I enroll Joy and she's got 20,000 in volume, Joy is another source of volume for me. But let's say I'm a great customer gatherer. I love selling product and I've got 10,000 in customer sales on my own. My customer volume is another source of volume. So those would be my 3 sources of volume that I could count. So for example, at the executive consultant 1 rank, 80,000 is the organizational volume. The maximum volume rule says I can count 40,000 from any one of those sources of volume. So, but kind of at an extreme case, let's say that I have 40,000 in customer volume. And believe it or not, we actually have a few people who do that. But let's say that I have 40,000 in customer volume. I can count 40,000. Let's say that I enroll Sean and Sean has 40,000 in volume. That right there, I meet that requirement because I've got 40,000 in 2 places from 2 sources of volume. I also love that because that gets you to our executive ranks. I mean, you can literally build to the executive rank with 1 consultant leg and a lot of customers. Now, in practice, that's technically how it is in practice. And someone asked me the other day, how many legs does that usually level out to? And I would say it's probably at the executive consultant rank about 5. And that's where you have a number of consultant legs that you're working with, but the most you can count from anyone is up to 40,000. So again, I know this is new information, and my purpose is not to overwhelm. You can always find this and see resources in many places, but that is how you hit kind of each and every and all of the ranks. So I'm going to spend a little time now. Oh, that probably would have been helpful to go through and click a little bit more. But this is just saying, if I'm Sarah, I have customers, that counts as a source. And you kind of can see this visually here. I'm Sarah and my customers count as a source of volume or my consultant legs as well. Okay. I want to just jump to a few of our bonuses right now. Um, and that's kind of in the share plan. So the share plan, as it is named, the share section of the plan, you are rewarded here for sharing product and the opportunity with customers and consultants. So let's look at our first benefits of it. And I want to start with explaining how our pricing structure works. So we have three pricing tiers in the United States. We have consultant price, which is always the best price. Think of it this way. If you go into a store, the owner of the brick and mortar store, they're always paying less for the products on the shelf than I am as I walk in as a customer. So as the store owner, as the consultant, your price is always the best price. So the next price is customer subscription price. If I enroll Adam as a customer, he is super excited about Protandim and P84. He's like, you know what? Put me on a subscription. The difference between those prices is about 10%. If I enroll Sean and he's like, I want to try it once, but don't put me on a subscription. Sean, you should be more like Adam in this example. We love subscriptions. But if Sean says, I just want to try it one time, Sean pays retail price. That is approximately 20% more than consultant price. So our pricing structure, again, consultant price is the lowest, customer subscription, and then customer retail. So what does that mean? So I'll give you this example right here. That means that as a consultant, every day you get the difference. So if Adam has an order that goes out that is on a subscription, I am going to get immediately 10% because that's the difference in price. Now, if Sean does it, I'm going to get 20% because that's the difference in price. So this bonus is called customer sales profit, and it's all you have to think is it's the difference between the price I pay and the price my customers pay. This is paid on enrollment orders, and it's also paid on subscription orders. When you reach the level of senior consultant 3, you qualify for daily pay. So most people get this bonus every single day. All right. So the next bonus on customer sales, like in that sharing section, is what we call our personal sales bonus. Now, this says, let's go through the entire month. Let's see how much you have in customer volume, and let's pay you an additional bonus to it. So this is a monthly bonus kind of on top of that daily bonus. We actually, just like we have rank titles, we have seller titles. We have a number of people that really focus on customer sales. We recognize these people at events. But this is just showing you that every month you can qualify for a monthly override. Our top one is Diamond. So when you get to the 4,000 in customer sales, again, new orders, repeat orders, doesn't matter. We add an additional 20% that you can earn on customer bonuses. Okay, I know we're moving through this fast, but the next bonus I want to talk to you about in that sharing section, we call it the sharing bonus. And we just went over how you earn for customers. This is how you earn on consultants. So you earn up to 10% on all product sales to your newly enrolled consultants and their customers within their first month. So let's look at an example. So let's say that I enroll Adam. Adam's a new consultant. He does $130 in volume order. And then Adam enrolls Sean, who does 225 in product orders. So I get $35. I'm going to get 10% of not only Adam's order, but of Sean's order. So it's my consultants that I enroll and their customers. This is in addition to level bonuses, and we'll go over that in just a second. But really simple, 10% of everything my consultant gets and also their customers. Here's another example. Again, if I enrolled a new consultant on a business pack and they got it was our big pack, which is about $850 in volume, I'm going to get $85 right there. And let's say they enroll additional customers, or they place a second order in this example in that month, I'm going to get another 10% on their orders. So straight 10% on everything they order and their customers order in their first month. You get it on a per person basis. So if I enrolled Adam, who became a consultant, and Sean, who became a consultant, I'm going to get 10% of their purchase in that first month. So this is again, and one of the things I'll call out, I hope you see this, is like we're paying equal really what you enroll for a customer and a consultant. So both are extremely, extremely important. Okay, your launch period. Now, one of the things that I know you have all seen in your business is that you want people to come in, and do you want them to wait to act, or do you want to get them into activity immediately? Well, kind of a dumb question. You want them to get into activity immediately, right? So we have what we call our launch period. So when you enroll, you will be in your launch period. That is your enrollment month plus 3 full calendar months. So today's September 10th. If I enroll today, I have the rest of September, all of October, all of November, and all of December to get that's my launch period. Now, the goal of your launch period is get to the rank of SC1 within 90 days. We have a lot of programs that we have created around this launch period in the United States. The first one is when you enroll, when you purchase your consultant pack, you are given 3 discount codes. You're given discount codes to go enroll a consultant where I can talk to my neighbor and I literally can give them a 10% off. That discount code actually expires in 8 days. And I had somebody the other day that was like, can you just make it last longer? And I politely had to tell them, well, no, because let me explain why. If you get somebody to take activity in their first week, the likelihood of them sticking with you long term in their business, we see it in the data. I'm sure in LoveBiome, Sean and Kelly, you all have seen this as well. If you get them doing something in their first week, they're going to stay with you a lot longer. So as a new consultant, we give you discount codes to say, go find somebody, but find them quickly. And here's a little bit of an incentive that you can offer, a discount for them to help them enroll. We want you in activity fast. In fact, the faster we can get you earning a check, the more likely you are to stay. So what else do we do in the launch period? Well, in the launch period, we do what's called, I already talked about that, a bonus, a doubler. So you have your sharing bonus that we talked about. During your launch period, we double it. So the sharing bonus I just went over, if you're in your launch period, you get the sharing bonus doubler. So in this example, if I enrolled a consultant at 500 SV, they placed another order or they enrolled customers and my bonus here was $75. If I do that in my launch period, I get $150. So we tried to make it really simple. In your launch period, what happens? You get double the bonus. Okay. I will send this all to Sean so that you can look at it as much as you want, but really simple, double your launch bonus. So we talked about sharing products. Let's go kind of through the rest of at a high level. So at the build and grow section, this is your level bonus. This is where I would say probably as you build a bigger organization, probably about 25% of your bonus would typically come from here. And this is just what you get rewarded on your level bonuses. This is basically your subscriptions kind of every single month. So when I was describing those launch period bonuses, those are all in addition to these level bonuses. So if you were in your launch period and you're getting a 10% on the sharing bonus, a 10% on the doubler, if I'm SC2, another 10% because they're on my level 1, I can get 30% just on consultant enrollments during that period. But this shows you what you earn at every level and how deep you earn on them. A couple of things I want to point out here. Look at level 1 in particular. It starts at 5%, then it goes up to 7, then it goes up to 9. And you see that at every level, those percentages go up. We were extremely intentional on that. That is saying every time you rank advance, we want you to feel like you got a substantial raise. Unfortunately, I've been in plans where somebody rank advances and they're expecting this big raise and it's like, sweet, I got 12 extra dollars. Like that was a lot of work for $12. In this particular bonus, your level 1 volume is going to stay the same. So as you rank advance, we're paying you more on the volume that you already have in your organization. And you see that happen kind of at every rank. Now, intentional on the other side, that if I don't maintain my rank, I'm going to feel it the other way. So this is where, when I talked about the behavior, The behavior on this one is retention. This is keeping your consultants earning a check and your customers purchasing. And as you do it and maintain your rank and grow, you'll see an increase in the bonuses you get. This is just a little bit of an example on how we roll volume up. To put this as simply as I possibly can. I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, oh, plants shouldn't have breakage. And I was like, well, it's not that they shouldn't, it's that you should work for a company that is really smart with how they use it. Because if a company didn't have breakage, they would go out of business day one. You couldn't keep that sustainable. So the trick is, how do you manage that? Now, for us, this was a really important behavior. One of the things that I have seen in multiple plans, one of the things that we actually pivoted away from was we never wanted to create an environment where if I am a certain rank and my downline fails or doesn't maintain their rank, it is better for me. So I shouldn't be rewarded more if my downline Sean can't hit his rank. Like I should be rewarded more by helping Sean hit his rank. So in the level bonuses, how volume rolls up and is paid is it looks and it says, if you're inactive and you're just not ordering and you're kind of just a placeholder in the tree, we're going to go ahead and roll that up. But if you're active and you're not qualified, meaning you're not at that rank, we don't roll that up because that's where it kind of started created. Well, I want Sean to rank advance because he's on my team, but if he doesn't, it's better for me. I make more money. Culture is incredibly important to us. And if we have a culture where we have a lot of leaders feeling like I do better when my team does worse, like we're dead in the water. So again, it rolls up if someone is active, but it does not if they are not qualified. Last bonuses. And I know I'm flying through this. We are here to answer questions. This is kind of, for a lot of you, this is the first overview. But this is our leadership section. So in our leadership section, we have 2 company pools. And this is what I love about LifeVantage. I always refer to these bonuses kind of as the culture bonuses. LifeVantage is a public company. We're transparent. You can go read all about us. But one of the things that I love about this company is that everybody really puts on the LifeVantage jersey. They are part of the team. They want to help one another. We have a lot of cross lines who will work well with one another. And unfortunately, I've been at places where it's like, oh, you're not on my team. Sorry, I don't have time for you. Oh, you're not a certain rank. Sorry, I don't have time for you. Or I've also been at this is like cringy to even say this out loud, but I've also been places where there's like this fake celebrity vibe at an event where it's, oh, I can't talk to that person because they're not a certain rank or they're not on my team. At LifeVantage, we're one team. We all put on the LifeVantage jersey. It doesn't matter your rank. It doesn't matter your team. We're all in this together. And our leadership bonuses reward leaders on global revenue. So let's look at that. So the first bonus is our leadership matching bonus. So the leadership matching bonus tells you what you earn as you create a leader. We define a leader at that 10,000 rank, which is a managing consultant 1. And when you talk about true, just dynamic compression, this is where it lives in the plan. So we say, as you create managing consultant 1s or people at 10,000, we're going to reward you in your organization based on that rank at these percentages. These percentages are a percentage of their level commission check. So I want to look at this example because this one's important. So let's say that we've got Kelly, who is the blue U at the top. So Kelly enrolls Sean. Sean is so smart. He gets it. Sean becomes executive consultant 2. Now, I told you that MC1 kind of is the leader identifier here. So Sean, in this case, becomes a generation 1 leader for Kelly. Great job. But let's say if you go kind of over to the second person on the right, let's say Kelly enrolls Adam. And Adam, unfortunately, is like, it's not for me. Adam, he's probably a little disappointed at that point, but you guys can work that out at home, I guess. But then let's say Adam enrolls Joy, and Joy is like, sees the vision as, and I've met Joy. Does not surprise me. Joy caught the vision. But Adam enrolls Joy, and Joy becomes an MC1. Well, even though Adam enrolled Joy, Joy is still the first kind of MC1 related to Kelly. So even though he didn't enroll her, Kelly, Joy is Kelly's Generation 1 MC1. Let's say Adam also enrolled me and I also didn't get it, but I enrolled Disraeli and he's like, I get this, I see it, let's go. So even though he is technically 3 levels away, Disraeli is still a Generation 1 leader for Kelly. So I love this. And I talked about your organizational volume being able to count infinitely deep. Same concept here. You don't have to be the direct enroller. The bonus looks for generations of MC1s. It pays you a percentage of that check. The last bonus I will talk through is our leadership pool bonus. This is where it's another pool. We take 4% of company revenue and we say, when you hit executive consultant 1, you get 1 share. When you hit executive consultant 2, you get 3, clear up to 20 at presidential consultant. Shares are worth about $1,300 a month. So between when you hit presidential, between the leadership pool and the matching bonus, this is going to be easily 65% of your check. So you can imagine if shares are, $1,200 in volume, well over $20,000 that you're getting off of this one bonus. And here's the cool thing. And if I were you, as I was kind of talking about this, have you ever heard that like you have to get in early to make money in a company? Well, the reality is in this bonus, when you hit executive, not only are you being rewarded on the volume that you have, you're being rewarded on the volume that LifeVantage has been doing for 15 years. So it's not just saying, well, what have you done for us recently, Adam? You only get that percentage. It says, no, let's look at the entire company, volume that's been here way before you have, and you get a piece of it. This is the type of bonus that really creates that kind of open culture where people want everybody to win. Because when Adam wins, when Sean wins, when everybody wins, I do better. If I'm an executive, I get a percentage of that. It creates an environment where people want to help one another. You might live in an area where you don't have a big team, but maybe another leader has a big team and you help with an event. This is a bonus that helps you feel like no matter who you're helping at LifeVantage, you're getting rewarded for. So that does it for the bonuses. I know that is a ton of detail. Here's what I want you to walk away with. Our plan is behavior-based. You got to sell products, you got to enroll consultants, and you have to create leaders. If you want a long-term business, you've got to figure out how to become a leader yourself, but also how to create leaders. When you do that, the plan will pay you incredibly, incredibly well. We are proud of this plan. We are excited for you to come over. We have been talking about you for a long time of how can we help make sure this transition is seamless for you. We have an entire team of people ready to help you kind of even at a deeper level understand how you can really maximize this. So with that, Sean, I feel like I've been talking a lot. I hope it is, but I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Kristen. Great presentation. So awesome. We're going to post all of this, everybody. We put it in the comments. We've got this recording, and then we're going to post it with their Evolve plan so you can look through this and kind of really study it. But Kristen, I don't know if you could see the comments. You're probably too busy talking, but everyone is totally geeking out at your plan. They love it. They just think it's amazing. There is some really, if you watch Kelly's comments on the side, and Skylar were doing a great job of just kind of like zeroing in on the key features of each part of this plan. And I think to me, literally, if you're like Kelly's kind of a compensation guru, he's been writing plans for 40 years. And both him and I looked at this plan and went, wow, this just takes us to a whole new level and gives people exactly what they've been begging us for, which is more titles and more leadership bonuses and a leadership matching bonus. That's the one that geeks me out. I love that part of your plan. Daily commissions on retail volume. And I mean, it's just, you can earn some serious money. And as I look at our big leaders and I look kind of where they are right now in our system, a lot of them are going to come in at very high levels of your plan. So they're going to do very well very quickly. So very exciting. Now, before I end, I don't think she can be on camera, but I wanted to get Tamia's feedback. She came out, she met Kristen, and she's been around the industry for a very, very long time, raised to the top of multiple plans. And I just wanted to get her opinion, her feeling about the comp plan itself. So, Tamia, are you there? Can you unmute? Oh, there she is.
Am I here? What? Am I here? Oh my goodness. Front centered. I got one computer on to my left. I got a cell phone on to my right. And I was able to sit here and listen to the entire plan, and the entire presentation that was presented so eloquently by my dear friend, colleague, the boss, yeah, Miss Christian Cunningham. Thank you so much for that. That was absolutely amazing. And thank you, Sean, and thank you, Kelly. I believe that we were groomed for a time such as this. We were groomed. We had no idea. From, as Wendy said on yesterday, from the first name that we had, Go Love Life. We had no idea that this would come to pass. But here we are. And all I keep hearing in my mind is you saying, Sean, more, more, more. Everybody wanted more and more and more. And did we get more? Oh my goodness. First and foremost, I love the plan. I mean, how can you go wrong? I love the plan. Here is what I know based on what I've seen in just a short period of time. Corporate, absolutely amazing. Amazing. The leadership there, the camaraderie, the way that everybody works together and just gel together. When I saw Brandon and I saw Tyler, and how they just work so well together along with Julie and Christian, and not to leave out Steve Fife. I'm telling you, it was like a family that were hosting some folk that were from out of town, but treated them as though they were family as well. I felt like when we left from there, we knew everybody and everybody knew us. And so that goes without saying. Then an amazing product line. And when we add P84 to the equation, it just gets, as we say in South Carolina, gooderer and gooderer. I know that's not proper English, but y'all translate, okay? And then the compensation plan. Oh my goodness. I mean, when I think about going from getting paid 64 times or having the ability to get paid 64 times a year to 365 days, I mean, every single day of the year, if you so desire. When I think about the fact that only our OB6 counts towards us getting promoted to now, we're talking about unlimited levels. I mean, it's just, and when I think about the fact that we are in this space right now, it's exciting. The culture, the culture is what excites me. Because as you said, Sean, I've been in this industry for 32 years full time. And I've always worked cross line. Nobody was a stranger. As a matter of fact, some of the top people that's in my team, these individuals, we weren't in business together before. But when they reached out, or when I reached out, they said yes. I said yes. And we built a relationship. And as a result, we're in business together today. And so I could have said no. I don't work with anybody that's not on my team, but that wasn't the case. I understood the bigger picture way back when. And I'm so glad that this is what I'm hearing today when I heard Christian share that the culture is everything. We're one team, the LifeVantage and the LoveBiome team. That's who we are. And when I think about 1,200 to 1,300 per share, woo, help me somebody. Why would you not? Why would you not want to travel? Why would you not want to help somebody? Why would you not want somebody to be a part of what you're doing? Right? And then I love the fact that everybody can win. Everybody can win. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time to run like you've never ran before. It's not time to slow down. A good friend of mine shared something in a training, Mr. Pete Chapman. He said that he learned this, I believe, from Jim Rohn. He said, some folk are busy studying the roots while others are busy picking the fruit. Some are busy studying the roots while others are busy picking the fruit. And that stuck with me too. Because some folk are out there saying, you know what, I need to learn everything. I need to know everything before I go all in. And what I'm here to tell you today is you can learn while you earn. Get ready, get ready. As I've been telling folk already, we cannot wait until November the 1st. We got to start right now. We got a purpose in our minds that we're going in. We're going in on November the 1st when the doors open, and they got to open wide because a lot of us are coming. We're going in ranked and banked. Ranked and banked. And so everybody's been saying on our calls, Rab. We're going in ranked and banked. Yes, all the way in. So I just want to say that I'm excited, as you all can see. And I probably can hear, not see, but can hear. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter in this book, because we're really just getting started. We're really just getting started. And we're not just going, as I would say, to the top. Nah. We're not going to the top. There's a folk at the top. We're going to the tip top, because that's the only place that we're supposed to be, y'all. We deserve it. We've come to this time in our lives. Many of us, we've been waiting on this experience, and it is here. Now it's just time for us to embrace it. I look forward to sharing this ride with many of you that have already made up your minds that you too, you're going in ranked and banked. And so with that being said, thank you again, Christian, for that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful presentation. Look forward to hearing you again on tomorrow. And I look forward to this journey. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you, Kelly, for allowing me to share today.
Thanks, Dr. Tamia. Awesome job. Thank you so much. I love that ranked and banked. That should be our motto. For the next 2 months, we got to rank up and we got to get some. So we hit this, you get banked. We had this wonderful opportunity to have the top two of the top leaders from LifeVantage visit with us when we brought in a few of our top leaders. And the thing that I love, first of all, they said about 40% of their check every month comes from the leadership matching bonus and the infinity bonus. And these guys are guys that are making, I don't know, Kristen, I don't know their checks, but it has to be in the hundreds of thousands per month, minimally, maybe even the millions. But super down to earth, wonderful guys, completely willing to help everybody. And they said, you know why we're completely willing to help everybody is that 4% infinity bonus. If I bring someone in that's cross-line to me and they're super successful, I get paid for that. So it's okay that we all be LifeVantage team and we all wear the LifeVantage jersey. Let's help everybody. Let's make this the most amazing thing you've ever done. This wild, bizarre journey that has gotten us here is giving us the most amazing opportunity, probably the opportunity of our careers to make to actually build an amazing company and an amazing income stream for you and your children and your grandchildren. So let's get into the plan, study it, figure it out, and let's rank and bank, baby. We can do this. I love that, Tamia. All right, Adam, that's it for me. Oh, one quick thing. The lovely and talented Kristen will be back tomorrow. She is the architect of the LifeVantage Perks program, and you're going to want to see this. It includes cars and trips and gadgets and gizmos and aplenty, and it's an awesome reward program. So you get rewarded all the way along your journey, and it is phenomenal. Much more than we could ever do as LoveBiome alone. But we're so grateful to be with LifeVantage, and you got to hear this program. You're going to just absolutely love it. So Adam, I throw back to you, man. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, you said it, man. Kristen will be back tomorrow to talk about part 2 of the LifeVantage opportunity structure, including events, rewards, gifts, all kinds of great things. Like, imagine we only covered half of it today. So tomorrow is part 2. And I want to thank Kristen for her amazing presentation and sprinkling my name in there so much. I really loved that. But it was, if we were all in person right now, they would have to turn up the air conditioning because the energy is just buzzing, and we are all so excited for the coming weeks and months and years of fully maximizing this LifeVantage plus Love Biome opportunity.
Hey,
What a
Adam.
cool thing!
Adam, I had a quick thought. To me, as
Yeah.
God is going on this ranked and banked, and tomorrow you're going to learn about thanked. So you're ranked, banked, and thanked for your efforts. There we go.
Sean, you just blew my mind.
I know.
What
I'm getting good at this. No, just kidding.
Just on the spot, just turning it on. I love that. Well done. Yes, ranked, banked, and thanked. That is tomorrow. And in the meantime, Momentum Week is rolling on, baby. We just have so much working in our favor. The momentum is palpable. The energy is here. Thank you so much for joining us on day 3 of Momentum Week. We will be back tomorrow at the same time. Kristen will be with us again, and what a pleasure it will be. So, guys, have a great day. For those of you in Asia, sleep well, sweet dreams. We will see you tomorrow, and let's go out and make it a very, very special Momentum Week. Until then, everyone, my name is Adam. I've been your host. I want to thank Sean. I want to thank Kristen. I want to thank Dr. Tamia, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.